Alright, so after 45 minutes of tugging on this thing, man, I got it off because this pitman arm needs to be turned around for the direction it's going in, and then I have to find where the steering wheel is centered so that I can, have a center when I go left or right. And it all has to work out, and I don't even know if it's going to work yet, but I'm hopeful, and I just have to keep moving either way. If I stand around and wish it happens, it's not going to happen. So despite all my efforts, this is not coming out. So I put some oil in there and let it soak. We'll see we'll come back to it later. I don't want to waste the entire day trying to get this pitman arm off. Although the steering is the key essential of, it's like the biggest next step I need to get done. So I think I'm just going to go out and work on the radiator and let that soak, and then I'll come back to it. I've had this pipe sitting out in between my fence and my shed for, it's like really long. The neighbor was giving it away for free, so, but it's really, it's thick, so I figure that'll be better to use instead of a piece of galvanized pipe that I have in the garage. So I knew it'd come in handy someday. It's been here for about 5 years. You can see why I chose this, pipe, because it's super thick, and that's what you want in the front of your vehicle. You don't want to put a thin piece of tin in there because there's no point. It'd be nice for looks, but it's not going to protect you or your engine if you have a little mishap. Alright, so ultimately this is what I came up with, because that bar going the whole way across there and having to get into this little hole, that's where the leaf spring is there. Like, you can't, it's hard to get up in there. You can't get a wrench up in there to hold the other side of the bolt or nut. So I thought about, like, why have that bar go across there? Why not just cut these little pieces out? I know it doesn't look beautiful, but it'll hold the radiator up at the right height, and it's a simple solution, and it'll be solid as a rock, and that's all I'm worried about. I don't really care, if it's, you're not going to see any of that stuff. It's going to be, A, it's going to be painted, B, there's going to be a fuel cell right here in front of everything, and the grill shell goes in front of all that. So literally, I'll never know it's there. Got to measure for these bands where to weld these brackets. While I'm down there doing this, I want to weld some of these holes. Like there's like all these holes drilled in this, so I'm going to fill some of them in and then grind them down. All right, so here it is, semi. Now I have to paint it so it doesn't rust overnight because this garage or carport is ridiculous. But yeah, I'm gonna paint it, let it dry a little bit, and then we'll mount it up. Today would be what I call a good day. It sucks working in the freezing cold for a couple reasons. A lot of it is the main reason it sucks is because paint won't dry. And you can't really paint when it's 20 degrees out. You can, but it just takes forever to cure, and it doesn't cure right sometimes. And everything that I grind or cut needs to be painted, or else it'll rust by tomorrow. So perks of living in Pennsylvania, man. I couldn't imagine building hot rods in I don't know, Utah or Utah. I'm so stupid right now, dude. Like California or somewhere closer to the equator. There's nice dry cars. But anyway, I got this mounted. I got really into the work. I changed my mind on a couple things. I wasted some material. I cut out those plates for no reason because I didn't end up using them. And I'm pretty sure that this is the wrong radiator, but I don't know. It mounts up. I had to drill the holes, but it doesn't matter. It's made for a small block Chevy, so even if it's wrong, it doesn't matter because I'm going to put a grill in there. And This all just, it came together. I'm happy with it. Tomorrow now, I can wipe this off the list. I mean, mounting the radiator alone was kind of a big deal because the mounts weren't the same, and figuring out how I wanted to go about that and changing my mind 4 times, it ended up working out. All this stuff can be taken off and everything can be disassembled. There's no weird spaces to get into. It's all pretty easy. The weirdest spot is getting into the light bar there. You can see that crevice, getting under there, but that's not even hard, man. You know what I mean? That's nothing. I can get my hand in there, and I just love the way it looks, man. I was gonna go back because there's a gap there, but I'm putting an electric fan on the back of that, and I don't know. The gap looks, of course, from this angle and how I'm filming it, it looks pretty big. But in the grand scheme of things of the car, when you're standing next to this car, it's not too bad. So I might just leave it like this. I mean, I am I just did all that. So I might run a I might put a spacer in there and just run a fan, or you know, an electric fan. I don't know. It would have to be really close to use a engine fan. You need to be like an inch away pretty much, like to get nice airflow. So I think I'm too far away for that. I probably want to go with an electric fan, but I'm going to fill the gap somehow. I'll figure it out. But I'm digging it. I'm going to sleep well tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to start getting to the steering box, because steering is the next biggest thing, and then we're going to start working on pedals and dash and all that stuff. But yeah, this was a pretty big project. You know, I didn't even plan on putting that bar there in the front. You know, like when I woke up this morning, like this was all just like off the top of my head. I just whipped this up today, and I like the way it looks. It's nice and clean. Like I said, you can get to everything. You know, there's nothing that's like a pain in the ass, like, oh man, I got to take that off. It's just two quick nuts, you know, it's nothing.